Hey everyone, I haven't been on here in quite a while and I've had a lot of new customers or new inquiries on Seint Beauty, so I wanted to go ahead and go through a super quick tutorial once again on how I like to apply it. And obviously whenever you get it and you start using it, you'll come up with your own way. Everybody has their own way of applying it. There's no right or wrong. This is simply how I do it, and I change it up all the time. So I look forward to putting on my makeup every day because I could try new applications, new things, new colors all the time, and I don't have to have a ton of makeup compacts lying around in order to have a lot of choices. So this is the compact that I work out of most regularly. I also have another smaller one that I've added a few additional colors to, but just real quick, these are my most used eyeshadows and eyeliner. This is the lip and cheek color, and then I have a couple of eyeshadows in here, and then down here has the highlight and contour, which is your 3D foundation. Also has the highlight that I use for my brightening and concealing, and then my Bella bronzers. I have two of those right there. So my favorite, and then in this one I have just a couple of new shadows that just came out with that they just introduced. So Seint also has a bunch of awesome brushes. They're all double-ended. So these are a few of my favorites. This is the blush and bronzer brush, and they may look a little bit different than the ones that are currently for sale because these are the old Mascara Beauty before they became Seint Beauty. So they'll be more like a pewter or silvery color like this. But this is the blush and bronzer brush. This is the detail brush. This is the blend brush, I believe. 3D brush. Smudge brush for your eyes. This is the line brush, so it has a little spoolie on the end, and then a applicator for your brows. And then the Multitasker, I have two of these, one for my lip color and then one for my eyeshadows. And then the buff brush. So I typically use the most the buff brush for application, and I've been loving this detail brush. But I also can't get away from either the 3D brush or the blush and bronzer brush for blending and then also applying my bronzer and my blushes, okay? And then this is great for like a powdered bronzer. And I found that the detail brush is really good. I've started liking that a lot for the contour. So just real quick, I'm going to show you a super fast application. I do still have a little bit on. It's not very fresh, but this will just give you an idea. And like I said, you could do whatever you want. You don't have to stick with my method of application. You could choose your own, and I change mine up all the time. But I'm going to show you quickly what I think is the most quick way to apply it. So I'm going to take my buff brush using the larger end, and I'm going into my highlight color in Sandy. And I'm using Sandy right now because I haven't put sunless tanner on and haven't been in the sun in quite a while. So as you saw, I just gently did a little swipe into that, and I'm adding it to my face with gentle little dabbing, sweeping motions, very light-handed. You don't need to apply a ton of pressure to your face. Now, some people leave the area out that they're going to apply the contour color, and that's just fine. Like I said, that's the way you want to do it. Then, you know, by all means, go that route. I am going to sweep just a little bit of this under my eyes and then onto my forehead. Cover up that melasma and the dark spots there. Mango is a really good camo color too, so if I wanted to go into mango and put that on first to cancel some of that darkness out, like so, and then go back over it with the lighter highlight, then I could do that. Okay, so now that I have all of my highlight on my face, I'm going to take the detail brush. Again, I just started using this one and I really like it. And I'm just going to take it and go into my contour with this end and just kind of sweep it in there like that and go just up underneath my cheekbones with that contour. And again, you could go as light or as dark as you want. You know, if you find you start doing this and you want it a little bit heavier, by all means add more contour or change colors. So right now that was olive contour. I like to use Astoria or indigo a lot, so I'll just show you the difference in that, putting it a little bit darker, which is really nice. And then I'll blend it all out in a little bit. Okay, if you want to put some on your forehead, if you have a larger forehead, you would just take it right up to the hairline here, and then we'll blend it all out in just a little bit. Or as you can see, I tend to blend as I go. I say I'm not going to blend till later, and then I just start doing it. It's just a habit. But this little detail brush is great. All right, next I'm going to kind of chisel out my jawline. And so just going to take that contour right up underneath my jawline and along my jawbone here, creating that shadow. Gives you a sharper, more defined bone structure. Okay, next I have a insanely crooked nose, so I'm going to take the smaller end, go into my contour, and try to contour out my nose to make it look a little less crooked. And I'm just putting the contour on each side of my nose, and then on the ends down here, or underneath my nose there. I feel like, and I say this all the time, I feel like I kind of screw it up because I try to rush on these videos, but taking a darker color contour down the side of your nose and then blending it out does make your nose appear smaller if you need to kind of minimize that a little bit. And then I will take my buff brush and kind of go down the center of my nose with a lighter highlight color. Just right down the center, kind of more toward the end. And then if you feel like it's still too dark, just kind of dab it and blend it out. The idea is to make sure it's well blended, and then you'll be all good. All right, so next I'm just going to go ahead and take this detail brush, and we're going to go up in little motions just to blend it out. Again, you could use a blending sponge, a you know, your 3D brush, whatever you want to do, but I kind of like having more of a drastic contour right there, just to make my cheekbones look extra high and sharpen my features. So I really like the detail that this brush gives me. So again, that's the detail brush. How ironic is that? Okay, so next I'm going to take my blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just going to go into use the bronzer in, kind of squeeze that down, go into my Bella bronzer right here, and I take that usually in the area where I applied my contour, and I'll just kind of slap it on each side and then start to blend it once I put it on each side, depending on if I picked a lot up on my brush or not. And then I'll kind of put some on my forehead, and like I said, you could always add more or less bronzer depending on what you like. I like to look ultra bronze, especially if I use like a sunless tanner, which I have not done obviously in a very long time, but I like to have that bronze glowy look, and it's not too much. Next, I'm going to take the blush end of my blush and bronzer brush, flip it right over, and go into this color here. I'm not quite sure what it is. And then just dab it on my cheekbones to give some color. Now, I did forget to do one important step. I haven't been on here in a while, so I'm kind of losing it. But under my eyes, you can see the darkness. I don't know if it's picking up very well because of the lighting in here. But I do have darkness up underneath. So if you really want to make that area brighter, choose a color several shades lighter than your main highlight color. And I like to use Aura or Candlelit or even Linen. But if you use a color like Linen or Aura and you have more mature skin or fine lines and wrinkles or really deep lines and wrinkles, if I don't get Botox and my crow's feet are crazy. But I do have fine lines here as well. But I still like to use a really bright color. So I go into Linen with my buff brush, just barely tapping that little pointed edge of it in there. And I'm just going to put it right in the inner corner of my eye. There and there. Okay. And then I'm going to take it on the outer corner right there and right there. Notice I'm not getting it and sweeping it like a heavy layer underneath each, underneath each eye. So once I kind of put the little dot of it on there, I'm just going to kind of blend it out and up. And this will give you a lifted eye illusion, a more rested look. And then if I didn't have makeup on my eyelid, I would even take it up and onto my eyelid. Because, you know, as we age, or even some younger people with allergies and such, tend to get that darkness on their eyelid. So, you know, I put just a very small amount of the highlight color Linen, the super light color, underneath my eyes. If you feel like that's way too much once you put it on, you could always just grab your brush and either go over it with a little bit of a darker highlight, or take it and go into your bronzer and just bronze up that area a little bit if it's a little too light. All right, next I'm going to apply my lip color. So I'm taking the Multitasker brush, and I like to make my lips look a little more full. So I'm going to contour my lips out. My lips are extremely dry right now. So once I kind of contour the outer edge, I'm going to blend it in so it's not such a harsh line, and then take this end of my Multitasker. I cannot talk tonight. I do that every time I get on here. I think I try to rush and I can't speak. Okay, so I'm going to take that and then get the end of it and then dip it into one of my lip and cheek colors. And we'll just go into this one right here and then apply your lip color. You could apply it with your fingers if it's easier, but I really love the control that the Multitasker brush gives. And again, you don't have to contour your lips out. That's just something I enjoy doing instead of doing a liner. Now, sometimes I'll still do a liner. It just depends on, you know, what look I'm going for. Let me see if I have a gloss. Yeah, so this is the color Frenchie lip and cheek color, which is also a great concealer color. If you have like bluish to dark circles under your eyes, you would put that Frenchie color on to cancel any of that darkness out. So then I'm just going to top it with some Milani lip gloss. I also love Give Them Lala Beauty. It's fantastic. And then if you want a little extra bronze, you could use Give Them Lala powder bronzer or Younique powder bronzer. This is Younique's powder bronzer in Sable. And use the blend brush, go in there and just kind of really bronze up those areas right underneath your cheekbones. And I'm gonna run out of time here probably, but just kind of giving you the picture of an ultra bronze look. if you want to go that route. All right, if you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to help you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. You can shop my links in the bio, and I'll also put the links below. Thank you so much, and if you have any questions, let me know. Good night.